So, just to make sure that everyone, I mean, certainly for me, that my views only represent me, myself, and not any of my employers or clients or anything, anyone in any relation with me whatsoever. What about you, Barney?
Yeah, I would also agree with that statement. And yeah, my opinions probably change on a daily to weekly basis around my experiences. So yeah.
I mean, I'd say,
Um,
Panos, what about you? You're going to go.
well, yeah, I was just about to repeat exactly what I said earlier. Um, they purely represent myself, which, yeah, my own employer, myself. That's what I call it. And I love the idea of like that. Not an idea. It's just basically, yeah, our views to change daily, like based on experiences we already had, or having, or about to have.
I find that my views change sometimes all in the same day, all in the same minute.
I think we'll find this out as we go along.
We'll find out. So we're going to have a look at Ritual. Ritual, I think, is interesting, not least because they received, I think, $100 million of funding. Um,
Whoa.
so they're like a big player. Let's have a look at their crunch base. So they were in the US initially, and then they got like there's three rituals in here. Here we go, $112 million. So that's pretty serious. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, you're still
Yeah,
on.
Just
it's
like a
not.
bit like, what?
Yeah, it's like okay.
112 million. What could we do with that?
Yeah, how can we get that up and running?
So they've been going since 2014. I know they've just launched in the UK because I bumped into them when when I was at Canary Wharf, and they just launched their first test sites at Canary Wharf, and then Barney, didn't it go through your office?
Yeah, so we had a number of people message that around the app around, and then I even saw when I went to, I think I went to like Nando's or something to collect my meal, I could see other people from within my office as well as other people on the street talking about Ritual. So it was just like, what has just happened? So yeah, it was spread like wildfire. So the offer was something like sign up and get £10, no, £5 off your first meal, and then if you sign up a friend, you get £10 and they get £10 as well, I think. So it was basically, I get a free lunch, you get a free lunch, and that was how it spread around the office very quickly.
All right, so it's like people. It was all about getting free lunch.
Yeah, free lunch and getting a referral. How many people then went on to use the app again without having a free lunch or without referring another friend? I'm not sure. Because a lot of people were referring a lot of friends to get multiple free lunches. I was like, how is this going to work out as a business model? But I mean, clearly they've got a lot of backing, so it should be fine.
Money to throw around. Panos, do you hear about them?
Sorry?
Have you heard about these guys?
I actually haven't. And that's why I'm sitting here in silence. But I think I just kind of understand what type of services they do offer. There's kind of like go around, like get like restaurants or pop-ups or like food stalls or something that they get like an amount of meals or something, and they just offer them in a better price, or they give offers on specific
So I think
like
So, yeah,
meals a day.
So you basically, I think what sold it for me at least was the I can pre-order and then go and collect it and don't have to wait in line. And then obviously there was a free lunch part of it. But it was a convenience.
I guess probably the free lunch is something I would probably use it once. There's quite a few companies around that they actually do that now, I believe. As I used to work at the food store, I kind of like had a couple of people approaching me and saying, I would like to work with you. I think you kind of like lose a bit of the experience. I mean, I personally like it, like as part of what I like, to just go there and see the person who's going to serve me, see the person who's going to prepare my food, and say hi, like kind of have a bit of a personal experience.
But would you? I mean, I guess Barney, you clearly consider yourself to be the fast lane for urban professionals. You like the... Does that mean, Panos, is it just that you're not in the right demographic?
No, I also like to have the experience of like meeting the people that you actually are interacting with when you buy the food, because they're cooking it for you, right? So
yeah.
I think this was particularly aimed at the that lunch rush hour sort of crowd.
So, I think it's quite funny if you take out the 4. If you just say it's for fast lane urban professionals, then I think that works quite well.
I mean, I don't know. Like I sometimes I get annoyed. Not annoyed. I'm like, I wish I could go and get that. Like, I don't like queuing either. No one really does. Especially when they're hungry and like when you don't have much long to get go and get food. But that is one of these things that like with this convenience, it's kind of quite easy to forget that you need some time to get out of go away from your desk and actually stay out and breathe some.
I mean,
probably not fresh air if you live in London, but have a bit of a longer break rather than just collect my food, going back to the office, having an office.
Well, this says you can take turns getting lunch, so you could take turns with a couple of people, and that way you only get fresh air once every couple of days. You can focus on staying in the fast lane rather than having to slow down and get food, and just get other people to do it for you.
Productivity.
There is more in here. Lets you skip the queue, enjoy rewards, blah, blah, blah. Ordering and pickup is effortless. Find your cravings, intuitive search, super easy. Pay with your personal or company card. Google Pay, GPS, blah, 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 blah. Order burger, coffee. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty generic there, isn't it? Is this their release notes and what's new? They've got a little poem. That's so funny. It's just developers push that out going, nobody ever reads these.
Let's see what we can get away with.
Alright, let's go for an install. While it's installing, it's worth noting that we all work in product, right? So Barney, you're a product manager, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just about to start somewhere new, which you may or may not want to talk about. And Panos, you're also working in product?
I don't really work in product. The product is something I would like to do. Quite enjoy kind of responsibilities of a product owner, I would say. Yeah, I mean, part of my last job, it kind of felt I was doing a bit of product, but I'm not there yet.
You're more doing technical stuff at the moment, right?
Yes. I'm trying to find the right way into product.
The right way into product. I mean,
without sacrificing quite a lot of benefits I already have.
Yeah, the nice long trips to Cyprus, the holidays in Greece. All right, that's installed. Let's go.
You get fresh air out there, right?
Proper fresh air, not like London.
All right, This is the first thing that I don't like. I hate this. So you open an app And before you even get to the first screen, like welcome to the app, the first thing it does is ask you for some permissions to do things without telling you why. That just really gets me.
Do you close the app and go, no, thank you very much? Or do you go, yes, let's do whatever?
I normally deny. If I see it without one of those screens that says, and I don't know if this is because I've been involved in some mobile apps with location, but we would always, not so much on Android, but on iOS, you would have the, I think on iOS you only get one chance to ask, and if you don't say yes the first time, the user has to actually go into the settings of iOS and go into the background and figure out how it works. So
It's still...
Is that still the case?
No, they still ask you, and I wanted to actually say that I wanted to ask you what does annoy you the most when you actually get this, when you firstly access the app, or when you basically complete the whole journey and then it's like, oops, sorry, we can't, we need your location. But it's basically at the very end, and I'm not really sure how Android works, but on iOS it's kind of it can get a bit annoying. I'll go find the settings, find the app, navigate. It's not an easy. So if you don't do it at the very beginning, which is deny and allow, it's it becomes a bit longer.
Becomes painful. The thing that I don't like about it is that it doesn't tell you why. So if I just heard about Ritual and I'm just going to order, and I think it's just some a Deliveroo type app or something, or Just Eat type app. I just want to be able to. I just want to know why you're asking permission for it, and what you're going to use it for. So, we'd just like to know where you are so that we can help you find the closest restaurants. Here's a good example, right? So I've used this app before, so I know they use the location for more than just telling me where the nearest site is, the nearest restaurant or nearest coffee shop. There's a whole load of other really cool stuff that I thought was interesting. But if I hit deny here, then I might not get any of that, and I think it's just a missed opportunity, because a lot of people will just go no, especially with what people are like with data at the moment in Europe. They're just like no.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'll probably do the same. It does annoy me too. It's you don't I haven't really signed up anyway. Probably you're just gonna say allow and then go further and be like, oh yes, sign up, create an account, or basically Deliveroo or Uber Eats, you can't really go any further unless you have an account.
Yeah, it does say just in the background, doesn't it? It's kind of right at the top.
I wonder if people would just press allow because they know that other apps won't let them do stuff. If it says, oh, we need your location, and with another app you're not actually allowed to order anything, or you can't see anything around you, they just are used to, I kind of have to allow it to be able to use the app. So their other experiences are forcing them into a pathway.
Yeah, I guess if you're preloaded from those experiences, you might have that. You want to try and break that sort of thought from the user's view, right? If I'm the person that always hits deny, just because that's just the way I do it. If I hit always allow, it doesn't matter. We don't care about those people. They're going to go through, right? The people who say deny, it's how do we change their mind to say this isn't just sucking up all your data for us to process and target better ads at you. There's actually some genuine value back. But it does say right at the top, because it's in the background, you can't really see it. It does give a reason. It's just not easy to read. All right, let's allow that. All right, order ahead ritual. So I am going to sign up with email. And I'm going to do that because I already had an account. So I'm going to sign up with a different email address than I usually use.
Not password 1, is it?
That's interesting. So first thing I like there is when I put in the credentials, it came up with the LastPass thing, and for that to work, you actually have to specifically name the fields as username and password, so that the password tool knows that you're putting in a user and password. So that's good. At least they've got that bit covered. This one here is now.
Did I see a biometric on that? What was that?
On the first screen, it didn't have one on. No, it had It just had email or password.
Okay.
It's going to ask for my phone number. This is going to break. This is going to break it, really, isn't it? Because it's going to say we already have your account. Ask for an SMS with a
It
code.
really depends. Not everyone has this check. I mean, it happened to me before. I got like I registered. I used my phone and I went through. But actually, I don't remember what it was today. That actually it was Microsoft that I was like, this mobile is registered on another account.
What's the app? There's one of the apps. Is it WhatsApp that doesn't bother even checking? It just says it just asks for your access to your messages and then just pulls it through.
Yeah, I think it's WhatsApp.
So WhatsApp, when you re-sign into WhatsApp, it doesn't. If you're reinstalling it on your phone, it'll send you a text message and ask your permission to read your text messages, and then just does all this copy pasting for you. I think that's quite nice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like,
sometimes it will it'll bring through some of the message, but the history will be missing on some of it. I've experienced that before. But yeah, they should really ask.
I like the magic links. Is it Slack that does Slack does those magic links? Okay, so it's figured out that it's already got the email in use. 51996. Again, it could have done a hot link into the app instead of making me type numbers in. All right, I'm in. So that's interesting. It's remembered. So I uninstalled this app, and then it's already remembered my basket from the last time.
Your basket, not just your activity.
Yeah, well, just before we started
Basically,
this,
you left that. Yeah, it's interesting. Is it interesting or scary?
I think it's surprising how well set up they are. To be honest, most people can barely get an app to turn on, let alone. I think what is annoying here, though, is that so I've seen this and I now realise that I don't want to get a Wagamama from Ludgate Hill. How do I delete it? There's no way to cancel this order.
How about if you swipe left or right on that that did you have on your basket?
Swipe
there you
left.
go.
There you go. You see, I'm just not native enough. All right, I have £7 in credits. Does that mean that I got some credits from someone, or is that just a £10 for signing up?
It depends. How many friends have you requested or sent invites to that have signed up?
You can see your rewards.
I just welcome. I just bought some stuff. All right, so I've got £7 in ritual credit that we can blow on going to a restaurant. What's the My Team? What's all that about?
Oh, I think that's for if you want to sign your whole company up, or if you have a company that you can find people in.
So
or maybe if you have your friends that you want to share the journey to the shop, to the restaurant, to wherever you're gonna go and get some food. You see, like earlier, it was like, you can share the journey. What was that? Message at before you download the app.
So I think when you having used Ritual before, when you click into the My Team, it asks you for a company name, because that completely confused me because I was like, oh, I'll click on that and then I'll be able to find people, but then it was find your organization or something.
I see. So your company might register. It's not really just what I thought it might be, just you can register a group and be it's 5 of us. We usually go out. There you go.
That's interesting. So I can find a company that I used to work for. Why don't we choose a company that we haven't worked for? Who's based at 1 Canada Square?
Check Wise Alpha.
Wise Alpha, yeah. But they're quite small, aren't they?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, they're 3 people in their office. Isn't there a...
Why are they not on there?
What about HSBC? HSBC. Oh wow, so HSBC, but global banking and markets. So there's actually quite a lot of opportunity to like spy on other people, isn't there? Is there potential?
Just about to say, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so-
let's see actually how many like what information that are available there.
yeah, so I can go 8 Canada Square. Oh right, which floor am I on? Oh wow.
Whoa, that is very detailed.
Well, I guess if it's asking you, because it was saying that it'll tell you when other people are going for food. So maybe it's if you're going for food, it tells you that other people are going for food. Or
How
vice
many
versa.
floors is Canada Square?
I don't know. It looks like it's got at least 41.
Well, did I actually see 70 somewhere there?
Well, I think the app goes unlimited. I think you can be as tall as you like.
Okay.
All right. Looks like the fourth floor is. Fourth floor seems like a sensible place to go for. Let's join
I
that.
wonder where they're getting all the. So it's saying there's like 51 people. Like, how are they finding out all of those people are on that floor?
Well, because they've all done the same as I've just done, right? They've all said I'm
Yeah.
HSBC and I work at this building. And
Okay, yeah.
you must be able to, when you set your company at the beginning, before this stage, be able to say what
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
that your building isn't there or something. Okay, so we've got Bob, who's me. So we've got Ned, Neil, Glenn, Andrew. Can we see anything more about Andrew? We can just see where he went to Bad Brownie, and occasionally a photo. So it's not that bad. There's not much information. You can just see if there's someone. I mean, you can see how much of a fatty someone is if they keep ordering burgers.
Yeah, but you probably don't really know. Like, people do share. Kind of that thing got me there. Like, when you can actually share their journeys.
Oh, that's interesting. Look at this. So, exclusive perks available at this location. Limit once per customer on your first purchase. So, Bad Brownie and Coffee, you can go in there and you can, if you're working at HSBC, you get a discount on salted caramel brownie. I don't suppose you're near Canary Wharf, are you?
Is it just?
What was that, Panos?
I was just wondering if you actually get different perks depending on the company you work for.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I mean, I doubt it, but
well, these are all
test.
these are all
why don't you
savings,
go and
right?
check? Why don't you go and change company and see whether there are any perks, the different perks?
Piggyback. Here we go. Change company. You can leave your company at any time, but also you'll be leaving your team. You will not be able to use Piggyback another time. Okay. Leave my current company. Oh, okay. So my request has been submitted. A request to leave your current company. This will be processed in 1 to 2 business days. So I can't
it's
leave.
One of these things that you probably left, but you can join somewhere else by next 1 or 2 business days.
So I've got mute Piggyback for today. So by default, it tells me it's going to share my orders and mute Piggyback. So right, so I don't have a choice for my team. So this Piggyback thing. So if I go and order a coffee and Panos adds it to him, I have no choice but to go and pick it up.
Forced friendship.
I mean, you could do that. If there was someone who you didn't particularly like, you'd always get them to get.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's one of these things I would expect that not everyone can join any company or something. Like, I mean, it depends how serious you want to get. Like, do you are at your email company, or does your company have to approve? Does someone have to approve you? Because someone has to process your request to leave.
That must be someone at Ritual, though. I'm assuming that's not someone at the company.
Yeah,
At the company
exactly.
Thing.
But they represent it in a way that, like, there is some sort of process going on. You can join anywhere, anytime, but you can't leave at any time.
It's like Hotel California.
I wonder if you went to like a high-end like company or a Lux company, and said you were part of that company, would you get potentially like more luxurious or better offers than if you were working at somewhere that was considered less, I don't know, luxurious?
Do you get better offers if your company is in a more
Yeah,
affluent
so like-
area? So,
yeah.
like, are you saying that where your office is might not get the same offers as what you get at Canary Wharf?
Yeah, or because your average spend, for example, they might think, oh, the spend of this person is going to be higher, so we'll give them a cooler offer so that we can get them coming back. I wonder if they've tied that in somehow.
Where's this coming from? I missed it earlier, I guess.
So basically, I'm still at my office, and my office is on Oxford Street. So there's somebody downstairs with a loudspeaker or whatever. It's like, how often do I want to go down there and be like, can you just fuck off, please? Or can I pay you to leave? But then that's going to put me out of pocket. So.
All right, so
Call them to the noise police. Who knows?
let's fire through this a little bit faster, because I feel we're kind of going a little bit slow. I think we're getting a lot of good critical, but I think we need to have some pace. So we've got the My Team thing. That makes sense. Although I'm called Bob in here because my name is not correct in the app. I didn't put my real name in, so no one would actually know that that's me. So maybe that's a good strategy. So these are rewards. So these are things that I get extra points for. Is this like these are like the extra bonuses that I can get by the nice little perks they're giving us?
All right, and I guess those things do change daily.
Yeah, it looks like they're 60 minutes to get that offer.
60 minutes?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, no, I think that's 60 minutes.
Unlimited?
That's the waiting time, right?
No, that's how far away it is.
That's the walk.
Yeah, it's going to be over a 60-minute walk because I'm in Birmingham right now, so it's definitely going to take more than 60 minutes to get down to Notes at Canary Wharf. Okay, well that's quite nice though. So you get a map and filter. How many places have they got? Let's see. None in Birmingham.
So it's just a London-based app?
So it's just London for now. It's kind of classic startup, isn't it? They start in one area and then they...
If you zoom out, just like try and get like maybe the city and... Actually, no, it doesn't. It is. All right.
These are perks.
I thought it was
right?
just Canary Wharf at the beginning.
If we take the perks off, can we do without perks? We just say, show us coffee. So they must have some chains. But it hasn't launched actually, and it looks like it's launched in the city of London, so around Liverpool Street. That's like a centre, and it's launched around Canary Wharf.
But I guess that's where you would imagine that, like, they'll probably, like...
That's where all the fast lane professionals hide, isn't it? Because, I mean, if you're not in Canary Wharf or in the city, you're not a fast lane professional. You're somewhere in the middle of the slow lane.
Average lane.
Yeah, also, I imagine what they're offering is more like... They are better. I would call it more like better quality meals. It's not really like a meal deal or whatever. Like, I mean, we go for meal deals, but we quite like to go and get like you guys mentioned Nando's earlier, or I've seen Bird, or basically what I want to say is it's like meals are just about like £10 or something, £8 to £10. And I think people that work in Canary Wharf or the city are more likely to pay that amount of money.
Yeah. This app is really slick, but I have had this twice. Oops, something went wrong.
What did you click to get that?
Invite co-workers and friends. So I just hit invite. It's unfortunate because it looks like it actually works. So if anyone wants to use my discount code, then get signed up. I'll put it in the comments.
So you can get unlimited amount of tenors there's £10 vouchers on people that
I'm
sign
not
up
sure
with your
the
code.
logic on it, if I'm honest. I don't know how many, because I spoke to people when I went around my office and I was like, how many have you done? And I think it maybe got up to 5 or 6. So it might limit you at like a £50 cap.
So if this podcast had like a massive kind of audience of 100,000 people and we promoted it, we wouldn't get £1 million worth of food.
You wouldn't pay for food for the rest of your life.
I think I see a theme.
All right, let's go and try to order something. So we're in London. We're going to go. Is this little order with teammates? Piggyback. That sounds great. I mean, I would. You know what we should have done? We should have gone for Citibank, because the guys at Citibank at Canary Wharf are always in the office. They never leave. We could have seen the piggyback in action. All right, so let's go for a coffee in London.
Go for notes.
Yeah, go for notes, exactly. So notes, Finsbury Square, notes everywhere. I'd have thought that. So notes, Angel Court. So these places aren't open. So these are showing me places that are showing me places open. Okay, notes. No, says okay, got it. All right, so I can go in here. Exclusive perks, limit once per. Okay, so I can only get these perks once, and then I can never get them again. How disappointing. It looks like everything is a discount. Or I can save £1. I can spend my points.
The first time.
Yeah, I think you can.
What's the least wasteful in here if we were going to go through and order a flat white? Is pretty unwasteful. Just a tea.
No, just go for a tea.
Let's go for a tea. So you go in. I like the options. That's nice and easy.
Yeah.
Regular, extra shot. Skim milk, whole milk, almond milk, oat milk, soya milk. Christ, these guys have got everything. Make it decaf. Say £1.40.
No, don't use your points.
Well, doesn't matter. You're going to get all of them replaced when this goes live. So
yeah, I mean when this goes live, there'll be so many sign-ups. This wasn't here before actually. This solo order thing.
Which one?
Solo order down here.
Oh, I see.
Oh, so I can do solo order or I can offer pickup. So everyone at the so if I offer pickup, does that mean everyone can piggyback on my order from the office at Canary Wharf? Let's not offer pickup.
One coffee turns into 20.
There's 4 coffees waiting for someone halfway across the city. Let's not do that. Who wants a free lunch? I do. Okay, that's interesting. That's a little just getting me off my.
Where is that? Like as soon as he order.
Yeah, this is on like the order page.
Ah, okay, I see.
So I can go and add friends or search contacts. That search contacts. It feels a little bit not as advanced as something like the Facebook ads, where you can see other people who might have it or see other people who are online or that kind of stuff.
Already in it.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's that. Yeah, I suppose it's.
Yeah, well, I guess you don't really want to know who has it or not. I guess you're more likely to invite them. Spam them.
But then if you've already got it, then you won't spam them again.
I
think the shame here is that it doesn't have a copy link thing, so that I can put it into my WhatsApp. But they don't. Maybe they want to keep you in the app. So it says place your order now, an invite has been sent. I mean, I guess I could keep going around there, but it's a bit painful if I want to invite 10 people.
Do you know someone with an account and see whether it's basically their name appears on the list?
So I've got an account.
You've got an account, but I don't think it's just gonna.
You know what
it's just showing my contacts, right? So then I hit order now, so that's going to place our order. So this is the thing that I thought was like the standout feature for me for this app that I really thought was amazing, was this: you appear to be too far. So this will basically look at where you are, and then when you walk past the coffee shop or when you're within the order time of the coffee shop, it will place the order. So when you walk in, your order will be ready. So when I was talking about the location service, this thing is like,
it's smart.
It's a really cool feature.
Because when I did order with this, so when you place your order, it says 10 to 15 minutes is the standard that everybody seems to be getting, or that they got. And then as the order was being processed by the restaurant, it said you should now leave, like, depending on how far away your walk is from that restaurant. It sends you a notification within like a 5 minute. So if it takes 5 minutes to walk to the restaurant or wherever, it says that in that time.
Yeah, I mean, this for me was amazing. So when I did this on the bus, I did the place, I hit auto place, and then when I walked up towards notes, it figured out where I was and placed the order for me.
That's cool.
I guess that's what you actually meant at the very beginning when you're like, that's offers you like really cool features.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really cool feature and it makes sense in terms of the whole ritual thing that, you know, you've got your daily ritual and you want your coffee to be ready when you get there, but it doesn't really explain why at the beginning, and you might have hit no, and then you can't if you're on iOS.
And you can easily miss it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go for auto place. So it's auto place. So it's going to track my location. So there's an order in progress, and it's going to place my order. It's tracking my location. I'm 60 minutes away. Piggybacks off for this order. I've got a receipt, and it's a tax receipt as well, which is very nice of them for the order that I haven't completed. So all I need to do is travel across country. But it has given me, it looks like it's given the walking directions rather than the fastest route on the motorway. All right, that's pretty cool. And then I'm assuming then if I walk up, then I get the thing in the shop. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's
it's a nice touch.
It's a very nice touch. And then you can say you had order issues, had like a refund, had an issue with a promotion.
My map was too far away.
Yeah, what happens if I cancel now? Because I've obviously made a mistake and ordered. Your order was cancelled, your card was not charged. See, that was very nice.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think many companies do that. It's kind of, I mean, I judge from like Deliveroo and Uber Eats that I do use. Once the order is placed, I think you've got to call them up and have a long conversation and all that stuff to actually cancel your order.
Well, this one,
you are able to.
I was going to say, these guys, the restaurant didn't even know the order had been placed, right? There was they hadn't even been sent it because I was still 60 minutes away.
No, and like something quite nice is kind of a lot of times like you go on these apps and you just like go ahead, you place your order. I mean, it's a bit of a different like model, I guess. And it's like, oh yeah, you might have like an old address. I mean, it happened to me a couple of times. Like I might have like when I was at Canis Direct, I was like going home, ordering some food, the food getting delivered in like Canary Wharf. I was like, oh, where's my food? Well, like it's going the wrong direction. But yeah, that's like, oh, you're a bit far.
So would you, I guess the key question, Panos, you said you weren't a starter on this. Would you use this if you, having seen it now, is it something that you would use versus just walking up?
Something I would probably, like the reason I would use it is, I think I would use it not for food. I really like what you just showed us with the coffee, because like, especially, I don't know, kind of like in the morning or like to have your routine, like best thing is to kind of like be able to walk and like just get your coffee, not having to wait, it's busy and all that stuff. Like, get your coffee, walk away.
Sounds like you're one of these fast-paced young professionals, mate.
When it comes to coffee, absolutely.
What about you, Barney? You've used this. I mean, you've used this with the offer. Did you go beyond that, or?
So I used it with the offer, and then I actually, because I moved location, and currently there's no one in my office, so for the last couple of days I've been on my own, so I haven't had any friends to go with. But I don't think I'm covered in the region for where my office is at the moment. So,
you said you're around Oxford Street, yeah. So you're not in the city. You're in the middle lane.
Yeah, I'm in the shoppers lane. Because it'd be useful to know, like, if you move into a new area, what is actually there. At the moment, I don't know, so I'd probably use it for that if it was to move into a broader space.
They've got this.
I guess it's.
Go on, sorry.
From what you said from the location now, I guess it's quite clever what they've done, because what we've just done now, Duncan. I mean, if you have left it on, it can see where their users are sort of based, because it's tracking your location till you actually, it's basically tracking your location with all the time.
Yeah.
And you can see where users are actually based, and then try and generate more business around bigger groups of users are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the restaurant, it makes sense, because if you're going, or the coffee shop, and you've got something where if Panos goes for a drink of coffee and he's getting some points for, or a discount for going and picking up some coffees for his colleagues, and 3 colleagues make an order, that's 4 coffees that shop, or at least 3 coffees that shop weren't going to get.
True.
Or if you're busy, if you truly are a fast lane professional, you're going to be back to back in meetings. So you're going to need to be able to go down to your coffee shop, have the coffee ready immediately, and head straight back up into your next important meeting for critical business work.
Or you just get someone to go piggyback for you and pick it up for you.
Well, I mean, if you are a true fast lane professional, that's the way to get it done, isn't it? I like it. I think it's a really slick interface. It feels like sort of the same level as Just Eat, Deliveroo in terms of how it works and the kind of the slickness compared to some of the other apps. We were trying Pizza Express earlier, which we didn't get very far with, but compared this one to that one, this one feels so much easier to run through.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it. I think we wrap up there, and I think we'll come back with another app another time.
Sounds good.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, guys.
Till next time.
See ya.
Till next time in the fast lane.